You're now listening to the JCA Sports Podcast on Spotify and Anchor.
What's going on, everybody? The JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Jose Contreras, myself, Eric, my bad. I hit you on accident. That wasn't supposed to be my bad.
I'm like, what do you want me to do?
JCA Sports Podcast here live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Like I said, you see that little bell button that you guys see? Make sure you hit that bell button.
Yes.
For you guys to get notified when our shows are going to be on live, not on the JCA Sports Podcast, but Sports Strip Live, and also the EAFP Podcast, which might make a comeback next week, an early comeback.
Ooh,
not a comeback,
but
a new season, upon us and stuff like that as we're talking about transfer. But that's not what we're talking about here today. Also, make sure you follow us on all their social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok. Jose, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to be back. Great weekend off because we weren't here Monday, but we're back here Wednesday, and you guys are in store for a great episode for sure.
Yeah. We had a lot to talk about. Definitely a lot to talk about. NBA free agency. I mean, let's just put it out there. Is the NBA the best free agent, free agency out of all of the sports in America?
NFL free agency. NFL is always king when it comes to everything they do. Whether it's off season, the regular season, free agency, draft. Then when that starts to kick in, it's something special. But there's something different about the NBA free agency. When it hits 3 p.m., 4, whatever the time is when it's supposed to hit, you're literally clamoring to see what your favorite team is doing.
Oh, for sure. And it comes out swinging too. I'm talking about. I mean, the list goes on and on. We're going to talk about all the trades that happen, all the trades that happen or the signings from all the teams. But let's start with our beloved Chicago Bulls. Zach LaVine. He signed to the max contract.
He did
5 years to 220, 210, something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't as quick as we all expected it to be.
It wasn't. It took like 2 or 3 days.
It took a couple of days for them to actually do it, but it was expected,
right?
And it's finally done,
right?
So 5 years,
it's like 200. It was over 200 million. Let's just put it like that.
It was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money. But the Bulls didn't just stop there. Their first, for real. But the first move that the Bulls actually did make was actually signing that man to the left or to your right, depending how you've seen it, is Andre Drummond. Now, That was the first move they made. That was the first signing that they did on free agency. Yep. It was to someone's surprise.
5 year, 215.
5 year, 215.
I had to make sure we were
That's
right.
fine. Yeah, 5 year, 215. We know it was over 200 million. Right. That's all we knew. But Andre Drummond signing from Detroit Pistons as a free agent.
No, from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, I'm sorry, you're right. From Brooklyn, as a free agent, coming to Chicago. There was a lot of mixed emotions with that one.
There was. Some people were happy, some people weren't. I think the only reason why I feel like people weren't happy, and I can say myself included a little bit in this, is because we wanted that big splash.
Yeah.
And we waited for quite some time for our Bulls to even make a deal.
Yep.
They did it pretty late in the first day with Andre Drummond signing. Look, it makes sense. We all knew, we all know what they need, what they lacked last season, and what was blatant was the fact that they didn't have a true big that would help rebound and that would help defensively.
Yeah,
Andre Drummond defensively isn't really the best. He really isn't the best defender, but he is a great rebounder. He does bring size. And, you're going to pair him up with someone like Vooch, someone like Patrick Williams, then you could probably get a lot of value there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It was something I felt like it was still kind of seen to where it was like, well, Andre Drummond, okay, the Bulls needed shooting and interior help. It just felt like it was. I think we're having some technical difficulties here on our end. I'm not sure. I'm on the Facebook Live and it kind of froze a little bit. No, we're good. We're good. It just rebooted us back in. There you go. No, it just felt like the Bulls needed interior help and defense. I mean, interior help and shooting. And I still felt, even with the Andre Drummond free signing, still felt like the Bulls needed interior help and shooting. You know, I felt like, okay, it was good. It was all right. I guess you can say that, right? But at the end of the day, I guess it worked in the grand scheme of all in their plans. And it's one of those, like, it's starting to grow on me. You know, okay, Andre Drummond, all right, I can see it real quick, but it was that. Now, the other signing that the Bulls did was Goran Dragic. Or Dragic, right? The only way I remember Goran Dragic is Derrick Rose posterizing him. After that, I mean, yeah, he's had a decent career. It's kind of steady. You know, he's still been consistent playing through all these different teams. I think the Bulls are now his 5th team or 6th team in the NBA that he has played, but still a reliable and decent backup for what could be Lonzo Ball, and a team that's, let's be pretty honest, is heavy on the depth chart with guards. Right. You not only have Lonzo Ball, but you also have Zach LaVine. Not only you have Zach LaVine, you have Kobe White. Not only you have Kobe White, you have Ayo Dosunmu. Not only you have Ayo Dosunmu, I mean, you could put Dalen Terry in there.
You still have Alex Caruso.
You still have Alex Caruso, and then now you put Dragic.
Yes, very guard heavy team, but for good reason. One thing that plagued this team last season was injury. We don't know exactly what going on with Lonzo Ball. They don't have a timetable. They don't have a legit timetable as to when he's going to come back. So Goran Dragic is that insurance policy, right? If Lonzo doesn't start off healthy, or he doesn't play in the beginning of the season, you still have depth there in the guard position with all the guards you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And Dragic is a veteran. He's an experienced veteran. We know he could play. He's a shooter. He's gonna bring some energy to the team for sure. Vucevic, knows him well. He was a big part of bringing him in. So look, I trust our front office. They haven't shown me otherwise.
Right.
So the three signings really bringing back LaVine, getting Drummond, getting Dragic. If they feel like that's enough to make it to the next step, and that's just what I want. I want them to take that next step, which is make it out the first round, maybe deeper into the playoffs. If they feel like this is enough, then I'm gonna trust them.
Yeah, they stayed. What's the word I'm looking for? Complacent in their identity, because the Bulls really were that hot team that everybody thought that they were gonna make a trade. Didn't really ended up making a trade. And they just stood in place. They took their draft pick. They signed their free agents. They did all of that. As we're going to go real quick on the Bix Creation Facebook comments, guys, if you're interested in getting some t-shirts customized for anything that you want, from your shows to any type of family event, Bix Creations, you can always go there on Munster or in Lansing. Just let them know that JCA Sports sent you, or the John Konavi Facebook page. We got our boy CP. Oh, one of them, he goes up. He says, "Love the Dragic." I'm gonna get that name right soon. That Dragic signing. Draymond, I'm on the Drummond. Sorry, you're right. Drummond, I'm on the fence. We could use his rebounding, but he doesn't move the needle defensively. But I think we're still sitting in the same place as we did last year, between 4th and 6th seed. Boston, Miami, Philly, Milwaukee. Still the class of the East. He's still saying that Kobe White is on the roster. Is mind-boggling. And he goes on and saying we have too many guards. I was really hoping for some forwards signing on. Yeah, the only forward that we got out of this is Dalen Terry, even though they put him as a guard forward kind of combination. So you're probably seen as a 2-3 combo guard. Still a forward, I guess you can say, quote unquote. But the big thing that we have going on here is
he'll back up DeMar.
Yeah, he'll probably he'll back up DeMar. I mean, he'll probably be that small forward that we kind of need. But Are you satisfied? Are you happy for what the Bulls have done so far?
I'm not. To answer your question, I'm really not, but it's only because I want more.
I think we all do, right?
You know what I mean? That's the only reason. I just want more. You know what I mean? And that's just that's the fan in me. But again, I just have to ride with my team. I got to ride with the front office because again, they haven't showed me otherwise. This could be the 1 year where they be like, okay, what the hell did you guys do? And trust me, they'll get a lot of criticism for it if it ends up being really bad. But for now, I'm just gonna go in level headed. Again, I want more. I expected more. Didn't get it. So this is what it is. You know what I mean? Zach LaVine signing. We kind of knew that was gonna handicap a lot of things. So now that we know that we have him long term, he's supposed to be our big free agent signing. He's supposed to be.
I'll give you that.
He's supposed to be the star that we expected him to be. He has to prove it, man. You got the money now. You got the contract. Now it's time. It's time to prove it. It's time to prove it.
Yeah, I mean it is. I think the Bulls really do need Deontay goes. He's not sold on Philly CP. Neither am I. At least not yet. Depending on what they do with the offseason. I mean, James Harden's still a free agent, but that situation is going to be resolved in a matter of days. Hopefully not. But same. I'm not impressed. I'm not sold, but I'm also at the same time I'm not disappointed. I think I like AK's approach. His approach is just, you know what? He said, when we were healthy, we were the number 1 seed in the East. When we were healthy, we were the best defensive team in the East, and they were top 5 in scoring as a whole entire team. When they were all healthy, right? I guess he still wants to see what he could take this team that he had built, bringing in Vooch, bringing in DeMar, bringing in everybody else, and then now you're just bringing in depth just in case if something may happen, because you're right. We may or may not get the same season as we did from DeRozan. Maybe not. We may or may not see, probably exactly. We may or may not see even Lonzo Ball this season as much, right? So he did get depth on this team that he structured, I guess you can say, when he first took over the Bulls. And it's basically more of a wait and see.
Yeah.
As we go back to the Facebook comments, CB's like, why not? And that is going to the comment that Deontay wrote to him. He's why not? They're bringing the same team back. They're developing chemistry, and PJ Tucker will definitely help the toughness of that team's lineup of Embiid, PJ, Tobias, Harden, Maxey will still give people fits. Now remember, PJ Tucker, isn't he a free agent, if I'm not mistaken? I'm pretty sure he is.
PJ Tucker is no longer on the no, he's on Philadelphia.
He's on Philadelphia.
Yeah, he left.
Who am I confusing him with?
Miami going to Philadelphia.
There you go. That's the one. Thank you very much. But yeah, man, look, the NBA. I think the NBA to me, like answer the first question, the NBA to me, I think has the best free agency period. I think simply because it's so well known, the players are well seen. The players, everybody know who's what and who's there. NFL, I get the NFL 100%. But to me, yeah, the NBA just the way it started off swinging. And then it came out. I'm talking about Cat got paid. No, not Cat.
The reason why it was so big is because nobody expected anything to happen with Kyrie and KD, and still nothing has. But because Kyrie, we seen him going into free agency, opted into his contract. We figured, okay, maybe he's gonna stay. Maybe they're gonna figure it out or whatever. And then we get reports that KD wants out.
Yeah,
that was the biggest thing. Now you're like, if you're every single team in the NBA, every single fan base, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah,
like we're looking at our teams like, go get this man, right?
Go get him.
At the same time, we're looking like, wait, hold on, maybe we shouldn't go get him, especially because when you've seen what happened with Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
that's
the
Utah
one.
Jazz had to. What
Minnesota
had to give up just to get him. You talk about someone who's even greater than that, than Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You talk about King's ransom.
For sure. And that's a perfect segue as you guys listening to the JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow the JCA or the John Quinavi Facebook page on Facebook. Make sure you add us as a friend. We'll add you right back. And as always, like and share all of our shows on your page. So we appreciate the love for you guys as everybody else. Deontay goes said regular season team, faded in the playoffs. They didn't get any better with James Harden. So fickle. So be fickle. It's hard to trust them. Cole goes and answers. Neither are we. Will be greater than regular season, but come playoff time, we will get the same treatment from the past playoffs. Remember, Chicago was getting their ass kicked against the good teams. I just can't forget about those.
And to go to Cole's point about the 76ers real quick before we get into KD. Mm-hmm. They were in that series with Miami. Yeah, you gotta remember there were 2 of those games they didn't have Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
So, imagine when he came back, he was giving them fits.
He was.
Miami still pull out the win, but it could have been a way different series had he been healthy and played the entire series.
Oh, for sure, 100%. I think it would have been a different series, even with the team that's 100%. Maybe it would last 6-7 games. Maybe it would. What's up, Matt? Maybe it would last 7 games. Maybe it would have lasted the same amount of games. Who knows? We don't know because the Bulls weren't healthy. Kevin Durant, though, man, did he stir that pot really, really good for the NBA free agency, man?
Definitely.
You're right. How you say it was all about Kyrie. Yeah, at first it ended up being Kyrie, him opting out. He opted it back in, and then KD just said, "All right, I'm out." Just like that. He's like, I want out. Yeah, he said, I just want out. He saw what Rudy Gobert got for going to Minnesota. You see what Utah got from Minnesota. For Kevin Durant, though, his situation doesn't look a lot clean in Brooklyn than what we all once thought.
It doesn't look right because it isn't right. I mean, you gotta remember Kevin Durant came to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
This is the team he chose.
Yeah.
Then he chose to be paired up with Kyrie Irving. If you don't remember, the Brooklyn Nets were an up-and-coming team before they had Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. They had Spencer Dinwiddie and a whole bunch of other young rising stars, and they even made the playoffs in the East.
Yeah.
That year after that, then they traded away those young pieces, draft picks to get someone like Kevin Durant. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, for sure.
There was nothing wrong with that, but if you're Kevin Durant, you did everything you wanted in Brooklyn. You got everything you wanted in Brooklyn. You got Kyrie. You got James Harden. You got Steve Nash as your head coach. You got DeAndre Jordan, which ended up being one of the worst signings this past year. Like everybody that you wanted on that team, everything that you want, you literally were LeBron. Like what you were doing what LeBron does in Los Angeles. You were playing GM
or Cleveland.
Right. And you were playing GM and you got all that you wanted just for what? For this? For you to want to leave? Now, I don't blame you for not wanting to play with Kyrie Irving after what he did to you this past season.
Yeah.
But then just have the team ship him out. But if you're Kevin Durant, you're a Brooklyn Net. Stay a Brooklyn Net. You know what I mean? Like have this organization build around you. So then, okay, you want to get traded. And you have that right. I mean, in the NBA, these guys, it's not the NFL. They actually have say so right now. Hey, if I don't want to be here, they can get traded, right?
Yep.
But then it's like, okay, you want to get traded, cool. But then you're picking the best 2 teams in the NBA. You want to go to either the Phoenix Suns, who were the number 1 team in the West, won 60 games, or you want to go to the Miami Heat, which is the number 1 team in the East.
Yeah.
Can you I'm sorry, but it's like Kevin Durant is the definition of a gold digger in the NBA. You just want to go to where it's already established and win championship rings. And maybe I'm wrong in saying that, because why wouldn't you if you're an NBA player, right?
Right.
But it's just something about it. Like, you can't do it alone. You can't do it on your own. You can't. And I'm not saying LeBron didn't either, because he couldn't either. But Giannis did it. Steph Curry, he didn't do it alone, but he did it where he did it the right way. He stood with the team. Steph Curry is literally the same as Michael Jordan, where you stood with your team. The organization did right by you, surrounding you with great pieces, and you won multiple championships, right? But Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City Thunder the year after they lost in the playoffs against Golden State to win 2 championships, only to leave Golden State to Brooklyn, and now you have this debacle. Now he wants to leave again, and he wants to go to the best 2 teams in the NBA. Really? Now you're leaving this Brooklyn team in shambles, by the way.
Well,
yes. They're going to have to rebuild all over again. And they had core pieces to begin with before you came over here.
I don't think it will be in shambles.
They'll get a lot back.
Yeah,
I think the fact that they haven't got nothing so far tells you teams are cautious.
Oh no, I mean that's very cautious for sure. Because I don't think, because we've been seeing throughout for the past week the trades of what Rudy Gobert was worth, and I think Cole said it in the or CP said it somewhere in there, that you see what first 4 rounders for Minnesota, and Utah completely hustled Minnesota for Rudy Gobert, getting like 7 players back, or 5, 6, 7 players back with multiple first round draft picks. And look, first round draft picks from Minnesota. I mean, if they make the playoffs, they're going to be high teens, low 20s, possibly even mid 20s. So are the first round picks really worth it? That's basically how you kind of have to see it. Now you're mortgaging the future. I get that 100%. If Gobert goes for 4 first rounders, KD needs to go for like 7, which is true because Kevin Durant, no matter everything that you just said, people will still put Kevin Durant as one of the top 5, top 3 players in the NBA right now as of today. This guy has just the ability to score at will, no matter how you see it, whatever is around him. But everything you just said, it kind of dilutes a little bit Kevin Durant's if we want to go quote unquote legacy. It dilutes it a little bit because everything you said, I mean, there's nothing but facts that you spoken in there. He goes to OKC. OKC doesn't get it done. He goes to Golden State. He gets it done there. Then he goes to Brooklyn and he gets his people that he wants to get. But then everything in between those walls, those four walls in Brooklyn, kind of have to see the bigger picture. Was ownership like? Kyrie, how much can he handle Kyrie?
Ownership
being Kyrie?
did everything he wanted.
No, I understand.
Had nothing negative to do with this situation,
it's
other than trusting Kevin Durant. That's literally
and
it.
It's just it's hard to defend him if you want to defend him. Like it really is. It's kind of hard to defend him, especially the 2 teams that he picked. Now we sat here and we said, well, what will you give up for Kevin Durant? Well, I mean, if we keep Zach and Kevin Durant, I think if we give up DeMar DeRozan, Pat Will, Vooch, pick, Kobe, all this stuff, you're right. You're mortgaging literally your entire roster. You're gutting it to have it. You're getting 2 max contracts.
You're asking to be the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, you really are.
Because what's going to happen is you're gonna give away all your pieces, just like the Brooklyn Nets did. Kevin Durant's going to come. You guys are not going to win a championship because you bring Kevin Durant here. Yes. Theoretically, you get better because you have a great superstar in Kevin Durant, but you still don't have enough to win a championship. You still don't have enough to beat teams like Golden State, like Boston, like Phoenix,
or Philly,
Miami. You still we could probably compete with Philly. Who knows, right? But you still don't have enough to win a championship. So why even go down that route?
Right.
Why? Because then what's gonna happen? He's gonna be bothered the fact that he's not winning another championship, that he doesn't have pieces around him, and he's gonna want to leave. Like he's doing here in Brooklyn. He's showing you nothing else. You know what I mean? So it's like, why even bother? I was one of those guys that'd be like, I don't want him here.
All right.
I don't want him here.
I mean, as great of a talent he is, yeah, same here. I mean, we not playing, we're not GMs of Chicago, but I wouldn't want him. He said CP goes on the big Facebook comments. I feel sorry for the Nets gave up all their first round picks for years to come. And a great core of Valiant, Dinwiddie, LeVert, Russell for this KD, Kyrie, Harden trio who probably won't even be there when the year starts. It's sad. And a lesson learned, don't chase stars who jump teams.
But that's the second time Brooklyn Nets did that.
Yeah, they did the Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett one.
Yes.
And they traded all their picks.
And to the Boston Celtics who end up getting Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Right. Twice, shame on me. I mean, Kevin Durant fooled you. He fooled you.
He did. And CP says he's not trading for KD if he's Chicago. I don't think I would either.
Nope.
I wouldn't either. I rather take this route, be complacent, stay with your quote unquote core pieces, because that's what AK kept saying. The core.
Yeah.
Right. The moment I kept hearing the core, Vooch wasn't going to leave. The moment they presented Dalen Terry. The moment I heard the core, I knew that there was going to be no trade whatsoever.
And I'm okay with it.
And I'm okay with that too. But even if Kevin Durant does stay in Brooklyn, let's just say this, I still don't think they beat Brooklyn. I still don't think they beat the Celtics. I think KD stays in Brooklyn. The only way, and to go back to KD's point or KD's situation that we were talking about, the only way KD can fix this, I think he just needs to go to the NBA Finals. Now, to win it, it validates whatever that just happened. And I was like, okay, this man just shut us all up. He won an NBA title with the team that he chose. All right, cool. I guess he could kind of get swept under the rug for a year, but he has to win it this year if he wants to save this quote unquote legacy of his.
I don't know, man. It's tough. Like he could win a championship with Brooklyn Nets. He could stay together and do it, and that helps you, right? It helps a little bit, but you still have this going on. You were ready to leave.
I don't think it helps a little bit. It helps a lot of bit. I think it helps a lot of it, given the situation, not only with the Kyrie Irving situation that happened this year.
Let's talk about it.
It just
I have a comparison here.
I mean, but I see. I don't like this comparison because LeBron James is in a different atmosphere than everybody else. The only person that could go up to LeBron James at the moment,
a lot of LeBron haters.
Toe to toe is Steph Curry.
The only reason why I have LeBron James up there is because LeBron James gets a lot of heat. He gets a lot of flack. He gets a lot of hate for jumping teams, for creating superstar teams. At least when he goes to those teams, he wins championships. At least he gets the job done. If you're gonna go create superstar teams, if you're gonna go bounce to team after team, you're gonna get it done. He left Cleveland, the team that drafted him, to go to Miami to create the first superstar team. The first of
the modern one, I guess.
The first of the modern. You know what I mean? Like that started it all with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and the Miami Heat. They won 2. Afterwards, he came back to Cleveland, and it's not like Cleveland was a great team. Like they were a young up and coming team because they had Kyrie Irving, they had Andrew Wiggins, they had Anthony Bennett, who
they traded him away. They traded both of them away.
Shell of himself, right? But that's the thing. LeBron came back to a Cleveland team. Yes, they did a trade where they brought in Kevin Love, but they traded away Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett, and all them. So which
helped them.
So it did help, but I guess they weren't already an established team,
right?
You know what I mean? He came back and he won a championship with the team that he left to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I find nothing wrong with that. You went to go ring chase, cool. You came back, you did that team a great service. It's like if Kevin Durant would have went back to Oklahoma City Thunder and done that, I would have respect the head out of him. But LeBron gets a lot of hate just for going to Miami to begin with.
It's the way he did it.
He got a championship in Cleveland, right? Then he leaves and goes to Los Angeles. No one blames him for doing that.
No, because he already did what he accomplished.
Right, he did what he accomplished, and who doesn't want to play for the Lakers? It's a historic franchise. Kobe Bryant has already gone from the league. Why not? He wins a championship there. Yes, he brought Anthony Davis with him. Like the first year that he was there, they didn't make the playoffs. But did he cry about it? No. Did he want to leave after that year? No, he left. I mean, he stuck around. They brought in Anthony Davis, and they end up winning a championship. And don't tell me it doesn't count because it's a bubble year.
He had 2 bubble trophies.
No, don't count that. Come on, man.
Let me not go.
Because every single team were vying for that bubble team. A bubble trophy, I guess.
The only flag that I guess he gets from LA, if the pandemic never happened, I don't think a lot of people, I mean, as good as that Lakers team was, if they would have went to the playoffs, a lot of people saying that the Los Angeles Lakers wouldn't probably get out of the second round of that playoffs. They were coming in hurt. They were coming in hurt. The team was still kind of discombobulated at that time going into that playoffs, up until the pandemic, up until Rudy Gobert.
You can say that about all the teams.
Yes, I understand that. But remember, they took like the whole entire world. They took like almost 2 months off before they finally found a situation, which made everybody healthy. Exactly. And that bubble team and that bubble, which is
why it should count, because everybody came in into an even playing field.
Everybody,
it's not like you were home. You were in an even playing field. You were in Orlando. You were literally in a bubble, and everybody came back relatively healthy with time off. And you can't say all the other teams were rusty. No, everybody had the same amount of time off. They came back and they played and they won. The Lakers won with Anthony Davis, with LeBron James, and he won a championship.
Everybody's saying that bubble helped them out though.
LeBron has more championships, of course. He's been in the finals way more times. Got it
right,
and that's why I feel like LeBron. I don't see why he gets so much hate. He get the only hate that he deserves is when somebody compares him to Michael Jordan. There's no comparison there, but we already know that. Right. If you think he's better than Michael Jordan, then go slap yourself. Like seriously, go slap yourself. It's because it's not true. But there shouldn't be so much hate on LeBron because he does things relatively. I feel like he does it the right way. Yes, he left Miami, but who wouldn't want to go to Miami to play with your boys and to win rings? You know, I would have been tempted to do something like that. You know what I mean? But he came back, won it with Cleveland, went to Los Angeles. Now he's in Los Angeles. You don't see him wanting to leave. The Lakers sucked last season.
They did.
But he doesn't want to leave. He's not trying to cry out of his way. I need to get traded. I need to get out of here.
He wants to get Russ out of there. But
he's trying to bring more guys to him. Man. That's what Kevin Durant should be doing. Like, come on, man. Kevin Durant only changed teams 3 times. This will be the 4th if he leaves again. Just like LeBron.
If
you're going to hate on LeBron for switching teams, you need to hate on Kevin Durant. That's the only reason why I have this graphic up there.
Yeah, but again, putting this graphic up, it doesn't do. I mean, I know why you did it, and I see why you did it, but it doesn't support or it doesn't give that credibility. What am I trying to say? It's not right for Kevin Durant simply because this is two different type of players, right? Again, the only player that will be up the stratosphere for LeBron James is Steph Curry. But I know where you're going with this, and I understand why, because of what your argument is, the flack of LeBron James getting from what he is from going from team to team. Now, LeBron never requested a trade from his team. I think that's the only difference. Every team that he has left, from Cleveland to Miami,
he gets the job done, and then he moves on. But he gets the job done.
From Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland to Los Angeles, he left as a free agent.
Yes,
that's the
after winning a championship,
or even losing, because remember he
still gets it
he
done.
won a championship with Miami back to back. Then he lost, and he went back to Cleveland. I think he won the year after.
He lost in Miami twice.
Right, he lost in Miami twice. Then he goes back to Cleveland. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if they lost the final or they won the final. And then they lost
every
again.
year from Miami to Cleveland.
But yes,
he went to the NBA finals.
Where I'm going with is that he makes the finals. When he makes the finals, he's there and he wins it for 3 different organizations. Right? I think CP says I'm making it. No, I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying what people are saying. Oh yeah, you get that one. Yeah. It says you're making excuses, sir. Same condition for everyone on the bubble team, man. I'm just saying that's what everybody's saying. I'm not making an excuse. It happened. The bubble happened. They won. That's great. It's the same thing for baseball, for the Dodgers, Sox, whatever it is, bubble team. I'm just saying what people are saying. I could care less who won during the bubble season between baseball, hockey, and basketball. It doesn't matter. They won. They went to the championship. They won. I could care less. They did the job done. That's what it was. But they were saying throughout the time that if the season ever got cut short, this Lakers team would have been in trouble going into the playoffs. So let's be honest, Eric. If Bron came into Chicago, he almost did, won us a championship, you wouldn't have the same energy towards him, and that's all that. He went to Chicago. I mean, he didn't. He went to Miami, the free agency. He didn't come to Chicago. That's great. That's cool. I could care less. I've never had the hatred for LeBron James. Never did. I'm just putting that out there. I've never had that hatred for LeBron James.
Your boy John isn't like that.
That's John. So that's him. Me, I guess all my knowledge or my hatred or my way how I see things is because of the great and wonderful sport of the real football around the world that's played. And there's many great players. So I admire greatness. That's all I got to say. I mean, I know that's Johnny. That ain't me. The big LeBron fan over here is right here, right next to me with the 7 jerseys that he got. Not me.
I don't got
see, and now the Giannis jersey. This guy, not me.
Look, I follow greatness.
I appreciate greatness.
I give LeBron all the credit in the world. I do too. The only time I don't is when you compare him to Michael Jordan.
I just love the comparison, or I just love the it was during the bubble season. Or to me, that's funny. I find that hilarious because this is like I feel like people that come up with that argument really don't know sports.
So the thing is, like,
I don't know why I said
the same people who say that it doesn't count the bubble season. Same, like they would then say, "Oh, but it counts when their team wins."
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like come on,
stupid.
Man. You're like,
cool.
Right.
The only team that I would not give respect if they would have won is the White Sox. That's it. That's the only team.
That's only because you're a hater.
That's just me because
you're a hater.
F the White Sox.
You're a hater.
That's it. I'll put it straight, put it right there down and saying, if the White Sox would have won the bubble season that year, I don't care. Whatever. CP says I'm a Bulls fan. MJ is the GOAT, but I also appreciate greatness, and I can't let disrespect of LeBron go unnoticed by that's all. No, it's cool. And hey, everybody has their own thing. Like I said, I know where I see greatness. I appreciate greatness. I admire it. I get over it, and I move on. The JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Guys, make sure you guys hit the bell on the John Konavi Facebook page to get notified when our shows are live. Not only just our show, the John Konavi the JCA Podcast, but Sports Strip Live. That's going to be coming on later on tonight.
Yep.
And also the EAFP Podcast. And make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platform. Free agency, NFL, and it's finally over. We finally got the Baker Mayfield saga complete. And man, all it took was a 5th round pick. 2024.
Wow.
Conditional 5th round pick for Baker Mayfield to go to Carolina Panthers. But then they also, they said they were going to pay $10.9 million of his base salary. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of off the books for the Cleveland Browns. But here's the thing where he's going to. He's going to the Carolina Panthers, to where last year they traded for Zach Wilson to the Jets. So now you're having a situation with Baker Mayfield and Zach Wilson, or not Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold. Sorry, I apologize. Sam Darnold are fighting for the head-to-head spot for the Carolina Panthers. I think the Panthers got a good deal out of this.
100% a good deal out of this. The only person that's not getting a good deal out of this is Sam Darnold, right? Because now you got to compete. You were coming in thinking, hey, like you're going to be the starter you're going to be starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Then here comes Baker Mayfield, and if you're Baker Mayfield, you're licking your chops. You're ready for this situation.
Right.
But Carolina Panthers, I thought coming into this season, we're going to be a middle of the road team. I still think that, but Baker Mayfield adds extra 2 or 3 wins for me. He does. I think he's a good quarterback. I just think, the situation he had going on in Cleveland wasn't the best.
No, they respected the shit out of him.
Yeah, they did. They
disrespected him.
They did not respect him at all.
No, not at all.
Locker room did not respect him at all. And look, you could say for good reason, maybe not. I don't know. You get it, right? You see what OBJ did when he did leave Baker Mayfield's presence, right? He goes to Los Angeles Rams and he was killing it over there.
Towards ACL, but won a Super Bowl.
ACL, but he still won a champ, That being said, you're Baker Mayfield. You get away from the toxicness that is Cleveland, and you come into Carolina and you have a fresh start.
Facts.
You win the starting quarterback position, and then you show everybody why you were the Heisman Trophy winner in college, why you were a first-round pick.
I think it was the third, wasn't he? Was he the first?
I'm pretty sure he was a first-round pick.
Wherever.
He had to have been a first-round. But you, regardless of the fact, you show everybody
he was
why.
The top 5 pick.
Yeah, you show everybody why you were projected to be a really good quarterback, and he had one good year in Cleveland.
He did. We're not gonna lie.
In Cleveland, so so do that. I'm happy for him. I think that makes this Carolina Panthers team a way better team.
Look, Sam Darnold's situation, like we said, we mentioned it was ugly in Cleveland. It got ugly. They got what's his name, Deshaun Watson, and it just felt like it was a very disrespectful move for the Cleveland Browns and what's his name, and Baker Mayfield. With that being said, a 5th-round pick for Baker is just good business from them. The crazy thing about it is the Carolina Panthers have the number 1 and the number 3 pick, depending on, I forgot who went where, of the 2018 quarterback class in Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. That's the crazy part about it. Now, look, am I mad? No.
But they weren't the ones who drafted him.
No, they weren't the ones.
That just says a lot about the teams that did.
Right. That were definitely 100%. Baker Mayfield with Robbie Anderson, even though he tweeted a couple months ago saying Baker Mayfield, he said no with multiple O's. He's in the team. DJ Moore, who's on the screen right here, and the health of this guy,
Christian McCaffrey
of CMC.
Yeah,
that's basically what we're going for. You're right. I think Baker does bring an extra win or 2 or 3 to this Carolina Panthers. He really does, but at the same time, though, it's just like it's one of those situations to where it's just how much so, or what can Carolina do? What is Carolina doing? Is my question, right? I know they have a quarterback situation, and I guess they're battling it out right now between Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. But you know what's even more crazy? Week 1. Carolina Panthers versus the Cleveland Browns. Oh man, Jose, are we gonna see?
Now here's the thing. I'm kind of surprised Cleveland traded away. I mean, I'm surprised and I'm not surprised, right? Because I get why, but you don't know if Deshaun Watson's gonna play.
Oh, that's why they got Jacoby Brissett. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They had Jacoby Brissett. They had a plan all along. Baker wasn't their guy anymore. Right. Whatever OBJ did that going to Los Angeles and winning the Super Bowl and finally look, they were comparing Baker Mayfield to Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
I don't think that was right, but it happened.
Right.
As we go into the Bix Creation Facebook comments here, guys, make sure if you guys need a t-shirt for any type of event, go to Bix Creations in Lansing or in Munster, Indiana, and tell them that the JCA Sports Podcast sent you. He goes and saying, people don't realize That talents, there's talent on that team. Great receiving core, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, McCaffrey. I don't know if they make the playoffs, but they'll definitely be better. I 100% agree. 100%. CP also goes saying you're in the same division as Tampa and New Orleans, so it's so tough. I think it's just Tampa.
I think Carolina Panthers becomes the second best team in that division. The New Orleans Saints are not going to be as good as everybody thinks they are. I don't see it. The fact that you lost your Hall of Fame head coach and Sean Payton, I really don't trust Jameis Winston. The defense is supposed to be good, but Malcolm Thomas still doesn't want to play for your team. You're gonna be a run heavy team because of Alvin Kamara. Other than that, I don't really see the New Orleans Saints being a good team, and the Atlanta Falcons are in rebuilding mode right
now. Oh, for sure. So yeah, you're right. Second best team in that division. I'll give you that one. And then CP Go says there's no doubt Watson won't be playing this year. It'd be a miracle. I mean, look, he didn't smoke weed.
He didn't gamble on games.
He didn't gamble on games. He's going to be suspended 6 games, and you're going to see him in week 7.
Right. It's
the NFL. That's how they go. That's how they do things.
It's sad to say.
That's how they do things. Like look, it's 30, 27, however case amount of that, whatever the accusation is, the number of accusations. They didn't gamble on the NFL.
They all got settled, by the way.
And he didn't smoke weed.
They all got settled. Which means he paid him off. It's over with.
6 games, and he's back by week 7. I won't be surprised if that happens.
I wouldn't either.
I will not be surprised. And that's sad to say, and that's unfortunate what's happened.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back up here to Chicago real quick. And news came out, Jose, and I showed you this earlier today, too, while we were working together. I showed you that Chicago is giving the Bears an opportunity to come up with a plan to put a dome over Soldier Field. Why the hell would they do that?
Well, I see why Mayor Lightfoot and the city of Chicago would want to propose something like this, because they want to keep the Chicago Bears in Chicago. The only reason they care that the Chicago Bears are in Chicago, it isn't because they're called the Chicago Bears. Okay, let's be honest here. The only reason why the city of Chicago and Mayor Lightfoot want the Bears here is because of the money that they get every single time they come play here. That's the only reason why they want them here. If I'm the Bears, I look at this blueprints, whatever they give him, I see this ideas and I throw it away. I crumble it up, I maybe swallow it, I eat it, and I spit it in Mayor Lightfoot's face. I don't want it. The Bears shouldn't want it. Again, I see why the city of Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot does it. Why they'll do it. Because again, it's all about the money, it's all about the moolah, and that's what they want. They don't want to lose it. But I don't want a dome over Soldier Field. I don't want Soldier Field to be part of the Chicago Bears history anymore. Why? Because of Soldier Field, we don't get events like the Super Bowl. We don't get events like the World Cup. We don't get events.
Well, actually, Rahm Emanuel killed that one, by the way. So don't worry.
Like, let's be honest.
No. The World Cup in '94, Soldier Field was actually the first venue game for the United States men's national team. Okay,
but
and if Chicago still had the World Cup,
let's be honest.
But if Chicago had the World Cup here, it'll still be here.
But let's be honest. Nowadays, it's all about the numbers and how many butts you can fit in seats. And the Chicago Bears don't have the numbers. So regardless of the fact, you don't get a lot of events here.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like a wrestling fan, like WrestleMania. We don't get it here. We don't have nothing in Chicago or near Chicago to get us events like those, and we need events like those. The fact that we're the 3rd largest market in the NFL, and we just
in the country,
but in the NFL as well, and we don't get Super Bowl. What is that?
No, you're absolutely right. It really is. And you know what? Like the moment I seen that dome in Soldier Field, I laughed. I legit laughed simply because it's the dumbest. First of all, it's an ugly ass stadium. Let's be honest. I've been to Soldier Field plenty of times, not to watch the Chicago Bears. Last year was the first time I actually went to go see the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Right. Very first Bears game, right? But I've been to Soldier Field plenty of times to go see La Selección Mexicana. I went to go see the Gold Cup final between the United States men's national team and the Selección Mexicana in 2007 when it was here.
Which is the Mexico national team for those who don't.
Right. Right. You know, that, Viva Mexico. Well, EAFP podcast, if you want to know my take. But to be honest with you, man, this is a stupid idea. This is so dumb because that stadium is ugly. That stadium doesn't have anything to support a dome.
I've been there once, and yeah,
I've been there plenty of times. Let me tell you.
I've been there.
Look, let me tell you. When I went to go see La Selección Mexicana, the parking, sometimes you have to park on the other side. You have to go by 37th Beach.
Which is what Paulie Martinez brings up.
Yeah, right.
Here. It takes 3 hours just to find parking alone for big.
It takes you 2 hours to get out of it if you're parked right there. Like obviously, look. See, us Mexicans, when we go see the Mexican national team, we go all out. Banda, cookouts, all that. I mean, it's kind of like a normal tailgate, but we add the banda to it, right? But you're still having a dumbass dome over that ugly ass UFO inside that damn stadium with the pillars of the Soldier Field, and you want a dome on top of that? How stupid does it look? What it should be. See, and the Bears have
too late. I would have taken that a few years ago.
No, even a few years ago, I would have done it.
Come on. For selfish reasons, when you're a fan, look, I sat through a Bears game in the rain, in the cold.
Oh, you did.
It sucked.
No, it's ass.
Don't get me, it was the best game I've ever seen. I've ever experienced live. Right?
Wasn't that Cordell Patterson's return for a touchdown or something like that?
Twice. When he was a Minnesota Viking, and then the Bears came back with Jay Cutler throwing a game-winning touchdown to Martellus Bennett to win during the Mark Trestman era. Week 2 of that season, it was really good, but the weather conditions sucked.
Right? No, I believe you 100%, man. And it just
I love the roof over that thing.
I mean, I think it should have been done when they were building or when they were remodeling Soldier Field. But the only reason why this is not gonna work is because Soldier Field is a landmark. It's a landmark in the city of Chicago. So you really can't do it.
Man,
but you can't do anything outside. You can only do inside. So how Soldier Field looks. You have one stupid ass UFO on one side and like a half a building on the other side, and there's still cracks openings where you see the towers of downtown Chicago and the South Loop and North Michigan Avenue, and the other side you barely see the lake. And like it's not even complete all around. It's literally just stop divided. Like how the hell are you gonna build a roof? No. What Chicago should do.
I don't mind the roof.
I don't mind it either.
I don't mind the roof, but if you're doing it just to keep the Bears in Chicago, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Go to Arlington Heights.
Yes, I want them to go to Arlington Heights so bad.
Go to Arlington Heights.
I'll still call them the Chicago Bears.
I'll still call them the Chicago Bears too.
Okay.
What does he say? It's wild considering Chicago is the third largest city in the United States, and it's truly disrespectful. 100%. So y'all going to the game at Arlington Heights?
Hell yeah.
I'll go
100%.
In that new stadium. Hell yeah. In that new stadium. It's easier. It's gonna be so much easier. Tell me or not, it's not gonna be. It's hard to get into Soldier Field, whether if you're the only way you'll get there peacefully if you take the Metro or the South Shore, depending where you stay at, to go to the game. If you're driving, you have to be there. Obviously, they open up the gates 5 hours before the game starts. So if you're there at 7 a.m. before the game starts, right, to tailgate and everything like that. But imagine walking to wherever you're parking from, whether if it's the other side of the lot of McCormick Place or the other side of McCormick Place.
It's the simple things that really get you excited.
Or anywhere around the parking lots where the Field Museum is at, the Shed Aquarium, and the Planetarium. Hell, you even have to pay side parking if you're not in the parking lot, mind you. All right, and you still have to walk a good distance in November in the freaking cold to watch the Bears, game.
And then at that,
and then on top of that, they weren't that good.
You try, right, exactly. And then you try to escape the parking situation by taking the train. Did you know the Metro and the South Shore in the weekend doesn't run
every other hour?
Yes, it runs every other hour.
Every other hour, or
South Shore,
something like that.
South Shore's like every 2 hours.
Yeah. On Sunday.
So if you're in the cold waiting, you're in the cold waiting. After being out for so long in the field, seeing the Bears lose 47-3.
I'd rather them to spend $1.5 billion on a new stadium in Arlington Heights with all that space, and you do something indoorsy. You can still tailgate, but you can still have restaurants inside.
And think of it like
gambling
this.
inside.
And here's
with all that stuff.
Here's another incentive. Look at the new stadiums now. The new remodel stadiums. You look at Los Angeles Stadium, right? Look at Dallas Cowboys and over there in Arlington. Arlington, Texas. Yeah,
Arlington, Texas.
Look at those stadiums and how amazing, how beautiful they look.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Even Atlanta,
bro. Imagine that being the Chicago Bears stadium.
Yeah.
your favorite, you would go. Even if you would get blown out, you would still have a great time there.
And you know what's the even best part?
You'll lose comfortably.
You know what's even the best part? The Bears will receive 92% of all revenue for themselves and give the other 8% to the city of Arlington.
Well, let's be honest. It's not like it's not like the money was the reason why the Bears were losing games. It was the fact that they couldn't find great talent evaluators.
Oh, that's true.
And those talent evaluators couldn't find great talent to evaluate.
Right. I mean, that's true too. But still, think about it.
So, but 90%, right?
90% of the revenue will go back to the Chicago Bears. Instead of getting only 72% of the revenue and the rest goes to the city of Chicago, you can't do anything, no special events. Right. Everything that you do and get from there, you keep instead of a small percentage. Why the hell you want to do that? Why would you still put a dome and yet still not collect the money? Why? Because Mayor Lightfoot does not want to lose the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, let's go into the division. We're already talking about the Bears. Let's go into the NFC North in our weekly division preview, baby.
Yeah, the breakdown. We weren't live on Monday. We normally do this on Mondays, but since we only have the show on Wednesday, we're doing the NFC North, our rankings of the wins between our division. Today's the NFC North, talking about our beloved Chicago Bears, which, we saved the best for last.
Yes.
But we are going to talk about the teams and what our predictions for the season are. I already know why I'm going to go for the Bears. And this is going to be a fun conversation, but we're going to start with what's going to be the last place Lions this division this year.
I guess real.
Oh, wait.
Let's get into the comments report real quick.
Real quick. CP Go says, of course, I agree with y'all. They're getting these games suck so bad. That's why I don't go anymore. It's not worth it. I mean, look, I only went last year because it was my first time experiencing a Bears game. So, hey, me. But I know what you mean. He said, I went to the Rams game last year, and that stadium is astonishing. I think astonishing is still not giving it a lot of credit.
That's right. It's like
what astonishing
just
not giving it
from TV.
Right. You can see it on TV. Dope. For real. All right. So let's go back to the last place Lions. September 11th, they open up against the Eagles, which they're going to open up with an L, right? What do you say?
Yeah.
Cool. Washington Commanders, they'll get the W there.
I agree with that.
Minnesota Vikings are getting another L.
Well, where is that? I have them splitting
at Minnesota.
Okay, they're going to lose in Minnesota.
All right, cool. They get the Seahawks at home.
That's a dub.
That's a dub right there. They're going to lose at Foxborough against the Patriots.
They are, but I could see this Lion team just like last year putting up close games against.
No, for sure. I think the one thing that you get from the Detroit Lions is they're going to play hard. I think that's always a given, right? Somehow, somewhere, they're going to lose the bye week on week 6. Week 7, they're going to play against the Dallas Cowboys, where I feel like this is going to be another back-to-back loss.
Yeah,
it's at Dallas.
I see back-to-back.
I see that too.
Back losses.
Yeah, four losses in a row as they're playing against.
4 losses in a row.
I see 5 losses in a row as they come here to Chicago against the Bears.
Yeah, I agree with. I have the Bears and Lions splitting.
They're gonna get they finally break that winning streak or that losing streak against the New York Giants.
New York Giants, 100%. Only to lose 3 straight.
Only to lose 3.
No, 2 straight. 2 straight. They're gonna lose to Buffalo for sure. Buffalo's gonna beat them for sure. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are taking that next step.
I gotta see it to
100%.
I gotta see it to believe
they're taking that next step, man. They're gonna take that next step.
So they're gonna beat the Giants. They're gonna lose against the Bills. They're gonna beat the Jaguars.
No, they're not.
And they're gonna lose against the Vikings.
No, they're gonna beat the Vikings. I haven't split in that home. They're gonna be at Detroit. I see them beating the Vikings.
They're gonna beat the Jets.
No, I see the Jets beating them.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're gonna lose the Jets. No. They're gonna beat the Jets.
The Jets is another AFC team I could see getting a little bit better.
Nah, well, I have to see it to believe it. But I feel like they're gonna beat the Jets. They're gonna lose against Baker and the Panthers. Now the Panthers got Baker.
If Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, that offense is gonna be explosive. I would agree with that.
And technically, they're going to end the season on a 3-game losing streak where they lose against the Panthers, they lose against the Bears, and they lose against the Packers.
They're going to beat the Bears.
But for somehow, some way, for some odd reason, and I looked at this the other day, that the Detroit Lions have beaten the Green Bay Packers on the last game of the season 4 out of the last 6 times. Have beaten the Packers 4 out of the last 6 times on the last game of the season when they played against each other.
Yeah. Cole has them 4-13.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only got 5 wins.
5 wins?
5 and 12.
Damn. I got 1,
2.
I got my 4
last
wins. I got my 4 wins.
Last place in our division once again.
Look, they're getting better.
No, I get it.
They're getting better. They're gonna be a great team.
It's just the real question is, how much do you believe in golf and in this team? That's the real 100% question. And this coaching staff. Look, you're right. They played hard almost against every team last season. They could have almost gotten some wins against good quality teams and kind of almost made the playoffs. But the Lions will always do the Lions things, just like the Jets will always be the Jets. Just like the Giants will always be the Giants. Let me get a little bit closer because I feel like I'm getting out of the frame here. I really just, he said Lions will have a better record than the Bears. He said, just kidding, 4-13. Yeah, I got them 5-12. I got one more win because I honestly do believe somehow, some way they beat the Jets in at New York for some odd reason. I don't believe in the Jets the way people do. That's just me personally.
Jared Goff, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Quintez Cephas, and TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, looks like a last place team.
It definitely looks like the last place.
Shout out to Paulina Martinez, guys. Like, she's all in when it comes to the NFL. She's huge, heavy already on the fantasy football applications. Trust me when I say she's going to be a great follow on Twitter when it comes to fantasy football and who is where and who you need to pick up, because she is all in. Trust me, I see the grind, baby.
Speaking of fantasy football, stay tuned because the JCA Sports Fantasy Football League will be up and running soon. So Be on the lookout for that, as I'm the defending champ, by the way. Don't want to rub it in.
I have mixed feelings about this team right now. Here,
me too. And the only reason why, I mean, you have Dalvin Cook, you have Justin Jefferson, and you have the other wide receiver that's out there for Minnesota.
You have Dalvin Cook, Alexander Mattinson. For the running backs, you have wide receivers. You have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen.
How can I forget about
KJ Osborne? You have Irv Smith Jr. as your tight end.
Yep. But the fact of the matter is, the only reason why I have mixed feelings is the guy that throws the ball, and that's Kirk Cousins. Like, look, you're going to get that Kirk Cousins of last year that for some odd reason had some great numbers and was literally the top 5 quarterback in fantasy football, or top 10 in fantasy football, but they don't come to wins. And this is why I have mixed emotions for the Vikings. You?
But the reason why I think I agree with you. I agree with you. Like, I'm not a true believer in Kirk Cousins, but I just, for some reason, I could see this team taking a step back. They're in the same position the Bears are in. They have a new front office. They have a new head coach, a new system. So the only reason why I want to say they're taking a step back because it's the first year together. But we've seen teams, we've seen teams thrive in situations like that. So
talent is there.
You see talent. Talent is there.
Talent is there.
Talent is there.
As CP says, they're definitely getting a tough time out. This is talking about the Lions, but he says he has them at 8-9 for Minnesota.
Yeah,
that defense is a little sus.
Yeah,
which is true.
Right.
And even the offense, I still again, we're not big believers. I literally see the Minnesota Vikings go back-to-back L's. I see them back-to-back L's, and then they'll pull out that win against the Lions because it's at home, right? They'll get that win against the Saints at home. They're gonna take that L against the Bears at home. I could see this as a semi-trap game, depending on the Dolphins and their situation, right? I'm not a big believer in the Miami Dolphins. This is like one of the games where like the Minnesota Vikings are the Minnesota Vikings. Like, they're 2-3 at this point. You kind of see them being 500 at this point, beating the Miami Dolphins before heading out to the bye. I do believe that too. This is the Minnesota Vikings way. You lose 2, you win 2, then you lose 1, and then you're winning 1 again, being 3-3 before the bye. How about you, Jose?
I have my 7 wins. I think they're a middle pack of the. Again, I have mixed feelings about them. I can't sit here and say definitively they're going to be a great team, but I also can't. I also, because of the talent they have, and as Paulina says, they have a new head coach, so you don't know exactly what he's going to bring to the table. I can't definitively also say that they're going to be bad.
Right. And she also says right here, former offensive coordinator for the Rams, but you're going from Matthew Stafford to Kirk Cousins, right? That's Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins. That's your drop. Kirk Cousins doesn't give you the mobility out of the pocket.
Kirk Cousins could be a good game manager, but you got to cater to what he can do.
Right.
And that's what's going to limit you.
Exactly.
He's a bridge quarterback.
I completely agree. It's just that guy. He said CP says I believe they'll beat Green Bay to start the season. To be honest, You know what? I won't be surprised either if that happens.
We haven't got to the Packers yet, but he could be right.
You could be right. I mean, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. If you're telling me to pick Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins, obviously the answer is Aaron Rodgers, right? I don't know. I don't believe in Tua. This is why, to me, they'll probably beat the Miami Dolphins in Miami before the bye.
I think Tua's gonna have a good year this year.
I don't know,
man.
When
we get to the AFC, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy because we're definitely know what we're gonna start off with and what two divisions we're gonna end it with. They're gonna come back with a loss against the Cardinals, but they're gonna win against the Commanders in my book. But then they're gonna go back-to-back losses between the Bills and the Cowboys, right? But again, you give me Thanksgiving Day, you give me the Vikings and the Patriots, and I can see the Minnesota Vikings pulling off the win right here
against the Patriots.
I could definitely see it.
We'll see.
You know, it's at home, right? It's at home, and it's one of those games where, depending on the Patriots schedule, where it could be a trap game, and I can see the Minnesota Vikings actually winning this game.
Yeah.
Right? They're definitely going to win against the Jets. They're definitely going to win against the Lions. They're definitely
they're going to lose against
the Colts.
They're going to win against the Giants.
Win against the Giants.
And then the last two games could be a toss-up.
It definitely could be a toss-up. They're ending the game. They're ending their season on the road on two games back-to-back. I think they're going to lose against the Packers, and this is what's going to eliminate them from playoff contention.
How many wins you got?
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
8 and 9 wins. I'm around there with you. And you know what? Look, real quick. Planet says he better have a good year if he's done. I agree, because it's a new regime. That's not their guy. They're inheriting Kirk Cousins.
Right.
So, of course, 100%. If this is not a good year for him, this is his last. I think he's going to be last.
All right. And I think he's either on his second to last or maybe even his last year of his contract.
Right.
The contract that he got. Right.
But as I was going to say real quick, This division is really up for grabs. I feel like this division is up for grabs.
I want to say that too. I really do. The NFC North is probably the biggest question mark simply because of what Green Bay lost.
Yes.
And what everybody else in that division is.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just the only reason why I guess we give the leverage to the Green Bay Packers is because they have one of the best quarterbacks in the game right now, Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And if he
best quarterback in that division,
in the division,
edge, yes.
Right? He gets the edge, and probably the whole NFL, Jose.
Right.
Let's give the man credit in the NFL too.
Well, not the whole NFL,
or in the NFL too.
He's not the greatest quarterback in the
I'm
NFL.
not saying, but he is one of.
Yes,
that's what I said. One of
yes.
best quarterbacks in the NFL. If he could make literally a gourmet meal out of these beef chunks that he has right now as wide receivers, no doubt.
He has to Tom Brady it.
He has to Tom Brady it. Well, how far does that get you? Because even if you were the number
Tom Brady,
even
five championships,
you were the number one team last year with the number one wide receiver in the game, and you still end up losing. And you still end up losing to the San Francisco 49ers in the first round.
Right. So
we'll
get to the Packers.
We're getting to the Packers right now.
To answer CP's question, this is the last NFC division that we're doing. We've already done the South, East, and West. The North is the last of the NFC. Next week we start the AFC.
Yeah, we were starting the AFC next week from the last 3 weeks, heading up into training camp. Yeah. And speaking of,
we also go. I think they lose the last 2
I
games.
think so too. I got them losing.
Lions will have a better record.
Juice, you are crazy for this one, Juice.
I agree with you 100%.
No,
buddy.
I do not believe 100%. The Lions will not have the better. Nope.
100% Juice.
Nope. Worst team in the division will still be the Lions. And then CP says the Packers. What do you say? Packers won't be the tough monster they always was. They lost their top 2 receivers. That's why the division is a toss-up. But I still think the Packers win it and get a wild. So who's winning the division if they get a wild card?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. This division is up for grabs.
It is.
We'll get to the Bears when we get to the Bears. Right, let's get to the Packers real quick.
That's not facts, Juice. It's not facts, bro. It is not facts. Let's do it right here.
Green Bay Packers.
Packers.
Before let me name who they have as their offensive starters. We have Aaron Rodgers,
and that's it. Stop.
Running backs: Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. Wide receiver: Alan Lazard. Sammy Watkins is a Green Bay Packer. For those who don't know, Randall Cobb is also a Green Bay Packer. and they have Robert Tonyan as their tight end.
Wait, Juice, aren't you a Vikings fan? I think you are a Vikings fan. Aren't you a Vikings fan? That's why you say the Vikings. I think he is.
Could be.
He could be.
Regardless of the fact,
he says
biased,
Vikings.
if it's biased, if it's a biased take, I still believe it.
CP says you can still win the division and put in the wild card. Okay. I get what you're saying. They're not going to be the number 1 seed, but they're still going to win the NFC North. I got you. My bad. He said they'll finish 10-7, maybe 11-6 for the Green Bay Packers. I got them with back-to-back wins.
Really? I don't. Hold on. Let me see here. I have 1, 2.
They're going to lose against the Bucks.
3, 4, 5.
They're going to beat the Patriots. They're going to beat the Giants. They're going to beat the Jets. They're going to beat the Commanders.
I can see them having 8 wins.
They lose against the Bills. I think the Bills are just a better team.
They lose to the better teams, which is obviously New England. I think New England's a better team than Green Bay right now. I think Buffalo is a way better team than
they beat the Lions. I honestly do believe, and people are gonna hate me for this one.
The Cowboys are gonna beat them.
I believe they're gonna lose against the Cowboys.
And I even see them losing to the Tennessee.
I don't. I think Tennessee's weaker. I think they're gonna take the biggest step back out of all the teams that made the playoffs last year. To be honest with you, but I can definitely see them lose against the Philadelphia Eagles though. This one away, I see the Bears winning this one, so that's back-to-back losses because they're faced against the Rams. They'll pick up a win against the Dolphins.
No, they will not pick up a win against the Dolphins. And then the Dolphins are a way better team.
And then they're gonna end on a 3-game winning streak. Between the Dolphins. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
There's no way. I have them at 9 the most. I have them 9 the most.
I got 11.
And I think that's the most I have.
Oh, okay.
For
I thought
an
you
NFC.
were a Vikings fan, Juice.
That's
I forgot what fan you are.
That's the most. Juice. That's the most I have for an NFC team, NFC North team. I mean,
yeah. And I think 11. I think 11 wins suits them. But I'm on CP side. I kind of see them with 10 wins, 10-7. I don't. I mean, they could
where
probably
do you see that offensively? He's gonna have to pull a Tom Brady, and I don't think he can do that.
I mean, look, to me, the tosses you see in the Lions probably, depending how hard they face. I mean, hey, they lost to the Lions last year in the last game of the season. That's probably
you and I both, buddy.
And everything else after that, I mean, it just depends. I get it, but until I see otherwise, Aaron Rodgers is still the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
he's great in the regular season.
I can see them losing to Tennessee, and I get what you and Paulina are saying that Tennessee is weaker.
Way weaker.
I get it, but I can still see them because they're well coached. Look, they did not have Derrick Henry going into the playoffs last season.
That's fine.
And they still had wide receivers who weren't all that good. Say what you want about AJ Brown?
AJ Brown and they had
say what you want about him, but he wasn't breaking the bank either.
And they also had Julio Jones.
Come on. They weren't great wide receivers. They were a shell of themselves. Let's be honest, right? And they still made it to the playoffs as a number 1 seed, by the way, in the toughest conference in the AFC. So I do see that. I do agree with you guys that they're weaker. They're taking a step back. I don't think it's going to be a big step like everybody thinks it is. To be honest,
Juice goes and says he doesn't know about them losing to New England. They lost McDaniel, so they can use Mac Jones' strength to their advantage. CP says they're not losing to Tennessee or Dallas. Stop it.
Yeah, they're losing to Dallas.
They're losing to Dallas. I honestly believe the Dallas Cowboys
the overall better team. They're better defensively. They're better offensively. The only position the big Packers have over Dallas is the quarterback position.
Right. And to be honest with you, it's just better talent-wise overall. And the Tennessee Titans, I mean, look.
Derrick Henry proved to be enough. Proves to be enough.
But Ryan Tannehill needs all the help in the world.
If Ryan Tannehill doesn't lose his job to Malik Monk.
Right, but Ryan Tannehill needs all the help in the world, and there is no help in Tennessee. He said AJ Brown was a stud, and the OC was terrible calling in the right plays. Not 100% sure.
When we get to Tennessee, we'll talk more about
and then right, of course, and then Commander goes and says, and hoping that Traylon Burks works out because Robert Woods is up.
Yeah,
so
Robert Woods is a Titan as well. But when he comes back,
but you still, I mean, Robert Woods, you still putting him kind of almost at the bottom half of wide receivers when healthy, even when
you have the Packers winning the division. Stay on top.
Unfortunately, I think the Packers will win the division until proven otherwise. I think the Packers probably got.
How do you have the Packers 11 wins?
Yeah.
How many wins do you have the Bears?
Shit, I forgot.
Exactly.
Hold on. So maybe not.
Wait. No.
This might be different.
No.
I forgot.
You were capping.
I think they were 12
you
or
were
13.
capping.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So they're definitely beating the 49ers. They're definitely losing against the Packers. That I'm not going to be surprised. But they're going back-to-back wins against the Titans and the Giants. They're back-to-back-to-back. That's sorry, the Texans and the Giants.
Eric, don't do this to yourself.
Hold on. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself because I got too excited. So back-to-back-to-back, 2-back wins. I think they're going to beat the Texans, the Giants, the Vikings, and the Commanders. They're going to lose. They're definitely losing against the Patriots and the Cowboys. I'm going to 2 tough road games. They're losing against the Patriots and the Cowboys. For real. I think they're going to win. They're definitely beating the Dolphins. They're definitely beating the Lions. They're definitely beating the Falcons. The Falcons are going to be the worst team in the NFL this year. I'm down and putting that right now. Okay, so they're definitely beating the Jets, but they're going to go on a 3-game losing streak against the Packers. They're losing against the Packers. They're definitely losing. I think the Packers are going to sweep. I think I had them losing. I think I had it backwards. They're getting swept by the Packers. They're losing against the Eagles. They're losing against the Bills. And they're winning, and they're ending the season with 2 games win streak.
So how many wins you got?
I got them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
This guy has 11 wins for the Chicago Bears.
And the Packers.
Let me before I give you guys a realistic take and how many wins I think they're gonna have. Let me read out who they have as they're starting. They have Justin Fields as starting quarterback.
Yep.
Backing him up in case he gets hurt like he did last year is Trevor Siemian. I don't see him winning any games. Running backs, this is the best. I think this is the best positions they have right now. Is David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert showed you last season if David Montgomery goes out, he could be a solid running back and maybe even a future running back for them. Wide receiver wise is where you're like, come on. They have Darnell Mooney and Brian Pringle.
Don't forget Velus Jones Jr., the one that they drafted.
They got him, but besides him, you have Brian Pringle and Darnell Mooney.
Oh my God!
No tight ends, you have Cole Kmet and James O'Shaughnessy.
Okay.
There's nothing about that offense, Eric, that screams 11 wins.
Oh, there's definitely a lot.
No,
new team,
not.
Better offensive, better coach. I honestly believe that. I honestly do believe
you don't know that.
Well, CP says they're going to start the year 0-2.
No, don't worry about CP right now. Worry about me. Worry about what I'm telling you right now. I just read to you.
Are going to be the surprise this year.
I just read to you who they have offensively. That's not even mentioning the fact that we don't know what the hell the offensive line is going to look like. We don't know what the play calling is going to look like. You have a defensive-minded head coach. You don't know what this team is going to be offensively.
Look,
you didn't really get nothing offensively to help you win. I think the defense is going to take a step forward. 100%, even with losing Khalil Mack and whoever else they lost.
Akeem Hicks.
Yes, all of them. I think the defense is going to be a good defense. I just don't think the offense is going to carry the weight that they they need for 11 wins. Realistically,
I honestly do believe.
I started off when I first seen this. I said 4 wins. I went up a little bit. I gave them 2 extra wins only because of Justin Fields. I think if I'm believing that he is a legit quarterback, and because I feel like he's going to be a legit quarterback, I think he gives us 2 more wins, but he cannot do it alone, and he will not do it alone. I'm sorry, Eric, but realistically, I see 6 wins at best, 4 wins minimum.
I got 11. I got him at 11. And the only reason I'm going to go back, I think to me, the only way they start 0-2 if Jimmy G is the quarterback of the 49ers. I don't have no trust in Trey Lance. 1-1 to start the season.
Okay, you don't trust. We've had this debate.
4 wins in a row.
You don't trust Trey Lance, but I don't trust Trey Lance either. But I trust the team around him more than I trust the team around Justin Fields. Because that team around Trey Lance is 100 times better than the team surrounding Justin Fields. And it's a team game.
Oh, 100%. It's just to me, Trey Lance is just not the answer. And the fact that Jimmy G is still there makes me believe that he may
100% 0-2, and then they win 2 after. I see them beating the Texans and the Giants for sure.
I see them beating the Vikings too. The Vikings to me are
you got them at 7-10? Where do you see 7 wins?
See, And then you said thank you for bringing stability to the show, and yet you got this guy right here saying where you see him.
To be a realist, we will be 8-9 or miraculously. No, we would not.
I'm telling you, man.
You guys see 8 wins.
The schedule is weak in itself.
The 49ers are an overall better team. The Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers alone is a better team.
What quarterback?
Doesn't matter. The team is great. The team is great. The Texans and the Giants both suck. The Bears are going to beat them 100%. The Vikings, I said they're going to split. They're the Vikings. The Commanders is that extra win I would give them because of Justin Fields, and I think the Commanders are taking a step back. They're not beating the Patriots. They're not beating the Cowboys. They are not beating the Dolphins. They are not beating the Dolphins. They are going to split against the Lions. They will maybe win against the Falcons. They're not beating the Jets. They're not beating the Packers. They're not beating the Eagles. They're not beating the Bills.
You want to talk about what the Bears? What did the Falcons have? Who do the Falcons have? Who do the Falcons have?
I would take their tight end over their entire offense, bro. Why is his name slipping mind? Let me get my notes real quick. Hold on. He's probably his favorite player too.
And you talking?
Pitts. I will take Kyle Pitts.
And you're talking about stability.
I will take Kyle Pitts over.
That's
their
one
whole
player.
Entire wide receiving tight end.
Who's the quarterback?
Mariota.
Who's the wide receiver?
I'll tell you right now. The wide receivers are Drake London and Zach Yu. Look. The sixth win was the Falcons. I'm giving them that win, but they're not going to beat the rest of the teams I mentioned. I'm just being a realist here. Okay? Look, you guys can call me a hater all you want, but I'm going to call you guys lunatics. I'm going to call you guys insane. Why? Because year in and year out, let me take this off so you guys can see me, okay? Year in and year out, I'm looking at you guys here, okay? Year in and year out, you guys give the same damn benefit of the doubt to a team that shows you nothing year in and year out. Nothing. What have they shown you the past X amount of years? You name the years. What have they shown you that they could put a capable team together to win you a Super Bowl? They couldn't. They could not. We don't know what the hell Justin Fields is. He's still suspect. We don't know what this offensive line can do. If they can even stand upright and keep him steady. We don't know. We know what the hell he looks like when they can't, but you've seen it last year. We don't know what this coaching staff is. We don't know what this GM is. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that they're going to be great, because that's the same thing we did with Ryan Pace. That's the same thing we did with Matt Nagy when they first came here. That's the same thing we did with John Fox when he first came here. That's the same thing we did with Phil Emery and Mark Trestman when they first came here, and so on and so forth. So how am I going to sit here and tell you guys that they're going to be 100% different from the last 30 years of my life? How? They are the sole definition of mediocre, maybe even less than. They still have George McCaskey. They still have Ted Phillips running the damn team, and they showing you nothing. 100%. But yet you telling me they're going to have 11 wins.
They're going to split against the Packers and win 12 games. I'm just putting that out right now. Change it back. Got them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 12 wins. 12, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Eric, take it away.
I mean, the fact that you're saying that the Atlanta Falcons are going to beat the Chicago Bears is just
the fact that you say the fact that you said the Bears are going to beat the 49ers.
I probably believe that he also has them beating the Texans, beating them too as well. I mean, if he's saying that the Falcons, who has really less more than whatever he says against the Bears,
definitely directed at Eric. Yes, this man has them win 11 games. You have them win the Super Bowl too, Eric.
I mean, I got no, hell no. Not the Super Bowl, no, definitely.
But 11 games, bro. They're gonna be like the second. They're gonna be like the number 2 seed in the fucking NFC.
I'm just saying, like this guy's saying that the Falcons that have lesser talent than the Bears are. The
Bears have lesser talent than the 49ers. Then keep that same energy.
Again, I don't believe that Trey Lance is. If Jimmy G is the quarterback, that's an L. I'm putting that out there right now.
Eric,
I'm putting that
Eric,
out there right now,
Eric,
where I believe they'll go 0-2 if Jimmy G's the quarterback.
Eric, even if Trey Lance plays, do you not admit that they have a better offensive line, wide receiver, core, tight end, defense, even running back than the Chicago Bears?
I don't know about running back.
Okay, eliminate that then. With everything else,
Wide receiver, yes.
Even head coach. We know what the hell Shanahan is.
We know what Shanahan is. Obviously, you're going to get the advantage to the coach because we know what Shanahan
but
is.
You're also
he went to the Super Bowl.
But you're also going to give the advantage to Kittle, yes or no?
Yeah.
You're going to give the advantage to Debo.
Sure.
Debo is a better wide receiver than any wide receiver on our team, yes or no?
Again.
Yes or no?
Again. I'm not doubting the talent. I'm doubting the quarterback.
Is a better defense than us, yes or no?
Oh.
It's not all a quarterback.
I mean, what is it, Bosa?
It's not all quarterbacks, bro.
Is Bosa on the other end? Or am I confusing? Bosa, the Bosa brothers winning. You have a Bosa over there, right? I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, if it's just basically, I mean, this is not the 1980s where it's just running game. You're gonna have to throw the ball real quick in this league, and I don't think that Trey Lance is good enough. I don't. That's what's probably going to lose you the game on the first game of the season and on the road. And it's here in Chicago. I would be so happy. I wish they proved me wrong. I would love to see that win. Yeah, you won't be on the bandwagon. I'll kick you right off.
No. There's no bandwagon. Look, I'm a Bears fan through and through.
Sure.
I'm a tired Bears
coming from the guy who said he adopted the Chargers.
Bears fans. I don't believe it. I'm a tired Bears fan. I am. I'm a tired.
That's fine.
I'm tired. You know what the Bears are to me right now. What the Bulls were to me during the Garden Packs era. I was such a Bulls fan until I seen the writing on the wall that team was nothing. And I boycotted them. I did. I stopped watching the games.
We all did.
I stopped watching the games. I'm getting to that with the Bears. I am. I'm tired of seeing my favorite football team.
Are they though?
The worst? Yes, they are. I love football to the point where I like to watch other teams. Do I maybe look at the San Diego Chargers? But why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? When you look at other teams that are a lot more sexier, it's kind of like, how can you not? Right?
I just do it for my fantasy football league.
Right, and that too. I gamble.
Pretty much
it.
Me too.
I do flirt with the Chargers. I do flirt with them. Right?
You're not a real one. Don't say you're a real one.
Shut up,
you're not a real one. You don't flirt.
But I'm a
if
Bears
you're loyal,
fan.
You're loyal.
I'm a loyal Bears fan.
No, you're not. You're flirting.
A loyal Bears fan.
It's cheating.
It's not cheating.
Borderline cheating.
Look, maybe, but
maybe that's it.
Right,
that's it.
I'm trying not to.
What are we doing?
I'm trying not to.
Wait, what?
But the Bears got me this way.
What are we doing here?
The Bears got me this way.
What are we doing here? Look. Everything that he said that the Falcons would be him. Everything that he said to me is just all like everything just became white noise after he said the Falcons beat the Bears. Whatever he said it was just hogwash.
It's not hogwash.
It's all hogwash.
It's not hogwash. I think I've been holding that the last 30 years of my life.
To his barber. Not even that, Kamala. He ain't even loyal to his barber. If anybody,
I cheated my barber like a couple months ago.
Exactly. See, if there's anybody that he's loyal to, Kamala, is you.
Yeah, you're the only one.
And that's about it. Everything else, he's
my kids. I'm loyal to my kids.
He's just no, you're not. He's just a scumbag. After that,
don't listen to him.
I'm literally just telling you.
I'm a Bears fan. I'm gonna stay a Bears fan. I want to be wrong.
He said he's adopting the Chargers.
I want to be wrong.
Nope.
I like. Nope. If you have a girlfriend, Eric, who cheats on you every single year, and you still accept her and take her back for it, and then the 1 year, right, where you're like, you know what? Maybe this year she's not gonna cheat on me. Maybe this year she's gonna finally love me. And then she just rips your heart out and take it out again. If that's the Bears, that's what the Bears do to me every single time. Every single time.
What are we doing here? What the hell are we doing here? What are you doing here?
That's what it is, though.
The JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook.
That's how we do it.
YouTube, Twitter,
how we get sports talk here.
And Twitch. Juice, CP, Comadre, everybody else has been watching ended up watching the last of our show. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Guys, make sure you guys tune in every Monday, every Wednesday.
Where's John? I need to sit here.
Make sure you guys tune in. We might have a new time. Maybe we might 7 o'clock our normal time. 7 o'clock here on Monday. Yeah, it's because of you. Make sure you guys follow us every Monday, every Wednesday. All our shows live here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Make sure you also hit the bell where you guys get notified when our shows are going to be live. Not only just our show, the JCA Sports Podcast, but EAFP Podcast for the soccer one for me, and the Sports Trip Live is going to be later on tonight. What time, Jose? 10 o'clock. Don't miss it. They got a new segment busting out, so keep on the lookout for that. For Jose Contreras, myself, Eric Avila, this has been the JCA Sports Podcast here, live and local for you guys. Make sure you guys hit the share and like button. Until next time, guys, we'll see you on Monday, 9 o'clock. Jose!
Yeah.
Hit the outro.
Gotcha.
What a finish! Wow, that is unfreaking believable. What a way for a ball game to end.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's terrible. My God. The humanity.
They may be the drunkest couple in the history of sporting events.
I loved his face.
I would suspect that man is done for the night. Here's the thing. When you steal something, don't wear it.